Petrevski-Seton off a step. Cripps starting to really become a factor. Lowers the eyes inside 50. Cunningham's pickup was good. Shovels it back to Martin, who's been unbelievable. Stands up in the tackle to Murphy. Murphy. Nunes off a step. What about this? It goes through. Out of nowhere, the Blues have got this lead back to just 15 points.
Definitely wowies now, Bruce,
and
from our old mate.
And what about the Jacks, the two Jacks that have got the Guernsey for the first time tonight? Nunes has done his bit, but Martin's been, I think JB said, he stood up in the tackle, he's been extraordinary.
Strong through the hips, wasn't it? Because he was gone cold. Strong, got it off, and great goal. There's the one here, he was caught there. That's holding the footy, but the strength through the hips, got it off and set up this shot at goal.
It's amazing what happens when you actually finish off the hard work. They did so much work earlier where they couldn't capitalise with the goals. They're doing the same stuff now, but they're finishing, and so what's it brought it back to now? Back to 15 points.
Little kick, McGovern. Here's the man that Lingy said just needs a bit of a lift. McGovern, high ball, and Nunes will mark directly in front. Wastes no time. Nunes from 50 metres out launches a long bomb, and the crowd roars.
Clever square up here from McGovern.
Good finish by Nunes, so they've chipped away the Blues. They've kicked 6 goals after half-time, 3 in the third, 3 in the last, so they'll...
Big 2 minutes coming up here to quarter time. English palms it straight down to Kennedy though, and he drives it top of the square. Mackay, one paw, knocked it down. Gibbons again. Martin flicks it out. Nunes, dance step onto his right. Bontempelli nearly had him, not nearly enough. Nunes kicks a huge goal.
Well, you called it, Lynchy. You called it. Get to the front. There's going to be plenty of supply on a night like tonight if you're getting it inside 50 and the big forwards are crashing the pack, and that's exactly what Gibbons did again then. Had the support runners, and there's a really well-timed finish from Nunes.
And this is where their big problem is. I mean, it's a hit out, but it's a hit out to disadvantage. But the centre bounce clearance domination is setting the the Blues up for their supremacy on the scoreboard. It's 5-1, and they are just doing it at will. And that one was without Cripps in the square. He's had an influence too, Mackay. He hasn't got all the numbers, but gee, he's having an influence.
For a team that bases their game on territory, when you're leading 6-1 with the centre clearances, it's a pretty good indication that your game is on.
Pressure, secondary ball-ups. Centre field with a set-up. Nunes, the former Saint. He's now a Blue. And he's feeling it right now.
Clearances are big. They're big. If you can get your hands on the ball inside forward 50, anything can happen. It's just a great releasing handball. Just seagulling around the edge there, just waiting for the opportunity to come.
Not sure I've seen too many higher goals kicked than that either from that distance out.
Well, that's a great setup though, isn't it? It's a perfect position to be in to receive that handball.
Well, that's the traditional wing position where you sit just off the back of the stoppage. Your first priority is to probably be there as a defensive cover, but if your team wins the ball and they're coming back and they need a release handball, then you love it, Nunes. Been 3 clearances in the forward half for the Blues this quarter. They've won all 3 of them. Getting on top in that particular area.
Cripps, it was all under duress. Setterfield, what a touch it was. And now Martin. Kennedy had got clear more centrally, but he found Nunes, and then I think he got a straight boot from Tarrant on the way through.
Yeah,
it was okay.
Nothing untoward from Robbie Tarrant there. He's found a nice passage of space there, Nunes. I thought they were actually going to square it up to Kennedy again, who'd pushed forward into the corridor. But there's not much here. Great courage going for the footy, eyes on the ball.
Well, it wasn't a boot, it was an arm.
And Tarrant was desperately trying to get there as well, and in the end, there's nothing he can do, but his momentum's going to take him into it. He actually did well not to kill him.
That's one way of looking at it. So Nunes to extend Carlton's lead. How quickly things can turn around. It could have been level a moment ago. Instead, Carlton's lead increases back to just under 2 goals.
I'd love to get Todd Goldstein, show him that run up there from Jack Newnes and then show him his own run up.
You're right, it was exactly where he kicked the ball, and you can see Carlton's mindset. They want to try and play on from marks. They just want to get the ball moving, keep it in motion. And just the Paddy Cripps, just the strength to get it out of the contest and just keep the ball moving. Yeah, you get tackled there by Josh, but he just kept the ball moving, and they found themselves with some time and space forward of the ball. So I was a little bit like you. I thought he was going to come inside to Kennedy. It didn't look like he had an opponent, but I mean, he's a classy player, Jack Martin. Just picks the right option on most occasions.
Great kick by Setterfield there.
Oh, it was brilliant, but it was also amazing work from Cripps, who just got a hospital hand pass in amongst 3 players to somehow just get his boot to it, force it forward, and allow Setterfield to then create with a terrific little kick.
Went on the same wavelength there, the 2 North players. It didn't go to the players it was designed for. Curnow gives the genuine one-on-one chance, and Mackay did well initially, but Jack Newnes has the last say. Kicks it through off the left boot. First one of the quarter to the Blues.
Now, I love the way he kept his balance, but he got the perfect bounce. The ball came back to him and he tracked it and turned and kept his balance and finished well.
You're right, it was the muck-up. As they were trying to exit, it was a muck-up between Simpkin and Anderson. I think the handball was from Simpkin originally, but and then they just invited the pressure here, and really good quick succession handballs. And it wasn't a great kick, so Nunes had to do some body work to get himself in a position where he had some time and space. And he just held the back space on Mackay, just gave himself an opportunity, but you're right. The bounce, this bounce
back to him. Oh, beautiful.
Great passion displayed there by Jack Newnes.
It was a nice little kick from Curnow too. Didn't blaze away. Just kicked it into the vicinity of his teammate.
He's kicked 2 now. Mitch McGovern out this week. Last week it was Mackay, so he's got his opportunity a couple of weeks in a row. Impey came full charge, as you saw, seen off by Curnow. Deep ball, 3 against 1. So there's Blues at ground level everywhere. Setterfield, and Nunes has done it again. 2 goals last week, 7th for the year, and it's all one way at the moment in Perth. Carlton 4-1-25, and the Hawks with a lot of work to do.
All of those recruits involved again. You can see it's just a pretty simple game plan, isn't it? They take space, they take ground, it's predictable, and they get numbers there. This is alarm bells now, Geordie, for Hawthorn. So a lot of talk last week about their ball use. They went at 44%, which is the worst ever differential recorded for a Hawthorn team. And they're currently kicking the ball at 42% to start this game.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting dominated. They've had chances to use the ball well, but I just think their back 6, they're not in sync with each other. They had a spare.
Gibson lobs it at half forward. There's a bit going on before the ball arrived with Moore and Sicily. Betts somehow sends it on away again, and they'll be getting nervous back there. The Hawks, is that holding the ball? Oh, Nunes has kicked the goal. Pay the advantage. He's got another one. Jack the goal sneak.
He's a big soccer man too, Newnesy. He'd be very, very happy with this one. It started with the hesitation on centre wing for Hawthorn. So Bruce looks up, and where's the option? So either no one coming at the leg or just an apprehension in kicking the ball to a 1v1. We see Eddie Betts do that exact thing. Just take on the contest. It doesn't have to be perfect. And gee, any striker would be happy with that finish.
Just the cough up too deep in your defence. You just don't need these easy outs. And maybe he was afraid that he'd get done holding the ball. You'd nearly rather get done holding the ball in that instance than just to cough it up easy and allow a goal to Jack Newnes. But they're under some serious heat right now, Hawthorn.
Time won't be called. I'm not sure there's much Andy Brayshaw could have done. He was in the air
to get out of there.
So there's the siren. What about this?
The local cameraman won't move. He's saying, this is my spot. He's saying, get him out of there.
Jack Newnes.
He refuses to move.
He's He's going to have to move Dust, and he does now. Every schoolboy's dream. Kick after the siren to win the game for your club. Wasting no time, Jack Nunes. Set shot. He strikes it beautifully. He's got it. The Blues win it. Jack Nunes, after the siren, has won the game for Carlton. That is unbelievable.
Mop it up for him though and make it look better than it actually was. High ball, exploring again. No Casbolt bows. No other red jumpers around. Soccer off the ground. Nunes, goal. Nunes gets an easy one. And it's a game-high 33-point lead here at the moment with the Blues.
Do you reckon he's played well? He's played. I'm just thinking, he's been a good player and he's not best on ground tonight, but you wonder if last week does give him something that he didn't have for the going forward?
Confidence, without a doubt.
What do you think, Duck? I mean, that freakish, miraculous goal that he kicked last week for Nunes, does it give him the confidence to maybe go to the next level consistently?
Oh, well, I think when you do something like that and you win a game, you know, after the siren, your team, everyone's up, there's no doubt you can carry that confidence on into the next week, and he's done that as we have a look at the ladder. And you mentioned that percentage, Bruce.
The Simpson handball at speed and finished it off well. Cripps has got a bit to do with 1, 2, 3 players charge at him, drop the football through the legs of Pendlebury. Ended up with Murphy. Now to Nunes, who knows how to kick an important goal. Quick response.
Stoppage centre bounce goal, and Paddy Cripps has made the adjustment. The centre bounce as Scott Pendlebury's going to take, and he takes that front spot, hold a bit of space, and start to work his way back into the game. Paddy Cripps getting his hands on it, a couple of clearances.
It's right, it's not a tackle. He just bumps him with the arm.
Nunes finds a little bit of space outside of the foot. Jack Nunes, that is the goal the Blues wanted.
He's been threatening in this third quarter. He pushes hard forward, Jason. As a winger, both Carlton's wingers too. Especially Walsh and Nunes. That's his 12th goal for the season. So they do rely on that part of their game, him to push forward and hit the scoreboard and contribute. I think he might be playing half forward in this situation. Good finish. It's been a good pickup for him, actually. They're probably under the radar a little bit at the start of the year across from St Kilda.
I think one of the criticisms of Jack Nunes when he came from St Kilda was perhaps ball use wasn't what it could have been. I think he's done very well.
Yeah,
he's filled a hole for the Blues. I mean, let's not judge him on that one kick after the siren, which was a 1 in 100 kick. It was brilliant. But I like his work ethic. I think he's brought something that they've needed, and he's getting, and the Blues are getting good reward as well. So
what were you thinking, Eric? He's just miscued that one. There's a nice look away from Paddy Cripps and Walsh. Here comes Williamson. He's a left footer, and he's got a target he likes. Nunes is going to take the mark. That was classy stuff out of the centre from Carlton.
Yeah, they had numbers forward of the football then. Carlton, all the Brisbane players, a little bit beast to a honeypot, and Carlton had players out. Read the play really well. And Nunes was on his own forever.
What about the party tricks coming out?
The double look away.
Jeez, you don't mind.
And then
Sorry,
and then the composure from Williamson. A lot of blokes, especially young guys, would have had a fair shot from 50, nice goal, but he had the composure to hit Nunes.
We know this man was the hero with a goal after the siren in round 12. This one, a lot more regulation. Jack Nunes makes no mistake. Good game of footy, this one.